Hey everyone, welcome back to 996 The Howl. Throughout the off season, I'm going to do progression videos on players, and for this video, we're going to do the progression of sort of both the rebuild and Andre Tourigny. As a head coach, I want to go through, the sort of normal stats we usually go through, but now I've added some analytics just to show if this team is progressing well. Are they healthy analytically? And is there any sort of hiding spots that are negative and showing that the rebuild's going into a negative direction? I couldn't find any. If you could find any, shoot them my way. Well, let's get into it. You know all the usual stats here. I want to first start off. It's really hard to explain in the season review video how ecstatic I was that their shots on goal for was above shots on goal against, even though it was only a +1 difference. I mean, look at this, -10 shot differential difference. Same here, -10. They've moved on to -4, and now finally it's positive. Like, that is such a big deal to me and to the rebuild and to Andre Tourigny. So we'll go with the analytics, and then maybe I'll throw in some other stats here and there, but you can see how the power play has increased slowly, and then it dramatically has increased when they are the Utah Hockey Club. Penalty kill has always been okay, but thankfully under Utah, it ended up at 79.3, but we all know it was hovering around 80.5 to 81% throughout the season. So I have the first analytical stat here, obviously faceoffs as well. That's how happy I always am about faceoffs, seeing how far they've gone, and new additions, new personnel behind the bench, and players as well. Stenlund, Kerfoot, they've helped tremendously in the face-off metric. So the first analytical metric I have here is the expected goals for percentage, which is the quality of scoring chances in a game. So in a game, you want to be above 50%. That means if you have 52%, you're controlling 52% of the scoring chances in a game. So throughout a season, you add all those together, and Utah had a positive above 50 expected goals for percentage at 52.14%, up nearly 5% from last year in Arizona. And man, putting together this board, these two seasons are just nightmare fuel. I think the only interesting tidbit about these two seasons is save percentage is pretty good, especially 2 years ago. I mean, Ingram and Vejmelka were probably standing on their heads, more Ingram than Vejmelka here. So I think for the Utah Hockey Club, just need a consistent, stable backup goaltender. I know, and we all know what happened off the ice for Ingram, but moving forward, maybe more stability. Hopefully it is Ingram that provides that stability and confidence as a backup, but we still don't know what his role and if he's still going to be with the team and what his progress is with the player assistance program. So hopefully it all goes well and that save percentage number starts to increase. But getting back, expected goals for, it's healthy, and it's actually 11th in the league for Utah. Their top 10, well, 11, let's count 11 as top 10. They're top 10 in all the analytics that I put on this board. So things are going really well for Utah. The only rough thing is their expected analytics didn't match their reality, and we'll get to that now. The expected goal differential for Utah was supposed to be +22. They finished the season at -7. So that's a 29-point difference from what the analytics thought Utah would be to their reality. So that's a huge difference. I mean, the analytics showing Utah should have been scoring more, but 2.94, it's below from last year, one of the only red arrows. So definitely goal scoring is going to be worked on in the offseason. Last year's offseason was fixing the defense, and not only the defense, but the defensive style of the team as well. You hear Tourigny talk about 200-foot games with Cooley, Gunther, Hayden. Even mentions that Keller and Schmaltz have great defensive games as well. And then like other players I already mentioned, Kerfoot, Stenlund, they provide that defense on the forward group as well. So I think this off season we're in right now, You're going to see an evolution of the forward group. We already have word that Carcone won't be rejoining the team. So you're going to see a lot of, new players, not a lot, but a few new players in the forward group, and slot guys down like Stenlund, Kerfoot. Well, O'Brien should be scratched, even though he's a fan favorite. So Kerfoot, Stenlund, Dome, McBain, Krause. I don't think Bukestad is going to come back, so we'll just add him for the sake of argument. Like those 6 guys, like 3 or 4 of those could fit in your 4th line and one of them in your 3rd line. And then you add 2 more sort of offensively minded guys on your 3rd line just to pack that punch on the 3rd line to provide more goal scoring. Because this season, even though that 3rd line of Doan, McBain, and Krause was excellent to watch, all the analytics showed that they should be scoring more. They just couldn't, and they brought a lot of energy. They gathered momentum for the team when they needed it, whenever they stepped on the ice. That's more of a 4th line role. So we really, if we want to be competitive in the playoffs, shouldn't have 2 4th lines. So that 3rd line just needs a little bit more offensive oomph to it, and I think that's what we're going to see. And also the 2nd line wing position, you need a scorer there. It was a revolving door of Yamamoto, Carcone, and Kerfoot, so definitely need a 2nd line winger with Hayden and Schmaltz, that configuration I'm talking about, with Gunther and Cooley up with Keller. Then we go to expected goals for per 60 minutes of game time, so not even per game. Now we're talking about per 60 minutes. And the expected was 3.27 for Utah, which was 9th in the league for their expected goals per 60. But the real goals per 60 was 2.88. So definitely way lower than what the analytics showed. Last year it was 3. The expected goal differential last year was negative 25, which is crazy. It was actually, in reality, negative 20. So I'm like negative 80. And I can't believe I lived through it to talk about it. But just another showcase of the progression of the team. This is like a 50-point difference, because you're going from negatives to hit 0 is 25, then add another 22. That's 47-point difference for expected goal differential. But getting back to expected goals per 60 minutes, way low here, around 2.5, gets to 3 and goes even higher. For the expected goals for per 60. Then we'll go to high danger chances. I love saying high danger chances in my videos. And yes, it means something. It's an actual metric. In the NHL, the analytics people, they give a numbered value to a shot, every shot, between 1 and 3. The closer you are to the net, it gets a value of 3, which means that's the highest danger. Then as you go away from the net, it's 2. And then away from the net around the blue line is a 1. It gives a value of 1 to that shot on goal. So you add up all those numbers of 1s, 2s, and 3s. You get your high danger percentage. So the fact that Utah had a 56.13% high danger chances for, so in a game, they get way more high danger chances than their opponent. That's 3rd in the league for their high danger percentage. Last year was almost 7% less. And then we get really bad numbers here. So Tourigny, he's been fixing his system. It's not like he's maintained the same system. Like all these analytics, the tremendous positive increase just shows he's adapting with the team. He's not just staying the same as he was in his first year of coaching and just adding better players. Like he is changing his system constantly, which I like. And seeing these numbers, I really like what he's doing with the team. But we all know heading into next season, this will be the first season for Tourigny with expectations and pressure. If we're around Christmas time and this team isn't looking like they're going to make the playoffs at all, like I think management starts thinking about their options for coaching. Hopefully we don't get there, but just want to say that this is the first year with actual expectations this upcoming season. Then we go to the CF percentage and FF. CF stands for Corsi. F stands for Fenwick. What does Corsi measure? It measures all shots, so shots on goal, shots that miss the net, and shots that are blocked. It shows the quality of puck possession a team has and shows how much a team is controlling the puck. So whenever I talk about possession in my videos, I'm looking at this stat as well. If you're above 50%, you're controlling the puck more than your opposition in a game. So then you stretch it out through the whole season, and they're nearly at 54%, which is 5th in the league in terms of puck possession. This is 5-on-5. These last two numbers are 5-on-5, because on a power play, you should always be pretty much controlling the puck. It's up almost 5% from last year. That, like, 5% is a lot to increase year over year, and their forward group barely changed. Did it even change? No, they added Stenlund, and like Josh Dohm played more games. But Cooley and Gunther took that next step, and just having defense just helps out with offensive metrics as well. You know, keeping the puck out of your zone, moving the puck quickly with quality, making the right plays, not just chucking the puck up the boards when you feel the pressure. So having actual good defense helps as well. So then we go to Fenwick, which counts shots on goals as well, but it doesn't count blocked shots. It only counts shots on goal and missed shots. So the difference between Fenwick and Corsi is Fenwick doesn't count blocked shots. So in more measures, you're scoring quality and pressure, whereas Corsi is more quality of possession. So those are the differences there. And like a nearly 6% increase from last year. Just unbelievable stuff. I rarely could find negative numbers. The only negative I'm finding here is the analytics show Utah was like a great team. Like, I would say, I'll be a bit less biased, I would say the analytics show Utah should be a top 13 team. But the reality on the ice just didn't match up with that. It could be due to injuries. I mean, the goals for, they were expected to score way more goals than they did, but the quality of the chances are there. So it's really hard for me to find what the reason was. So they get high quality chances and the pucks are hitting the net usually. So what is it? It might just come down to the quality of the players hitting those shots. Like I've already mentioned, those 6 players of Krause, McBain, Doan, Kerfoot, Stenlund, Bukestad. You could add O'Brien there, Carconi. That's 8 players where they're not known to be like snipers and finishers, and there's maybe too many of them were on the team last season. So also when I talk about the evolution of the forward group, I think that's what I'm hinting at as well. It's like too many of those guys. You need more finishers, more players where when they're in those high quality areas, high danger chance level 3 areas or 2, they're putting that puck in the net. It could be defense as well. We didn't get much scoring on the defensive side outside of Sergachev. So if Durzi could get more goals, Kesselring, I know it was like really his first year, so I won't put that pressure on him. But I think Durzi really dropped the ball in the goal scoring department. Could have used maybe some goals from Marino, but again, I don't see Marino as an offensive guy. Then you have Mata, who's not offensive either. So it could be maybe a little bit more offense from our defensive side, our defense players as well. But in general, the rebuild is going the way it should be. If you think or you hear people say Utah didn't make the playoffs, they're terrible, this would be a failure of a season if they were still in Arizona. Like, no, like these jumps are extraordinary in one season with barely any new roster players. Like, that's what I'm talking. Like, sure, we remade the whole defense, but in terms of the forward group, it stayed the same, and all these metrics just drastically increasing. It's going to be hard to increase again. I don't expect to see the same level of drastic increase year over year starting now from this season with Utah. It's going to be slightly less increases, but they need to be increases all the same. They need to be, I know it's going to be hard to go from number 3rd in the league in high danger chances to number 1. Like, there's only so much room you can go. but I want to see some finishing. You could see the goals is low compared to last season, and also the shooting percentage is low as well. Again, just showing that just putting the puck across that goal line was pretty much an issue, and the analytics showed that the puck should have been entering past the goal line more often than it did in reality. So I think just an improvement in the forward group. You have another year of experience with Gunther and Cooley. They could go out from outside of the organization and grab some new forwards, some prospects that might join the forward group. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, like Cole Baudouin isn't ready for sure. Iginla isn't ready. He pretty much was injured this whole past season. Daniel Boot is really the only player prospect I can see making the jump immediately to the Utah team. But again, I think Simishev is ahead of him in the pipeline, the defenseman. So Daniel Boot might spend some time at the beginning with Tucson, and then we'll see from there. So it's more likely, now that I'm thinking about it, the help in the forward group is gonna have to come from the outside, and they got the cap room to do it. They could make some trades. They still have a lot of draft picks. We'll see how many draft picks they use to trade. Hopefully it's not a lot, but just the state of Tourigny and the rebuild, it's good. It's great. It's actually better than it could have been, and they just need to stick with it. Try not to do anything drastic. This past season, what Utah did, it doesn't warrant any drastic moves. So hopefully we don't see any drastic moves, but you never know with Bill Armstrong. They might be thinking we need to make drastic moves and make a big push next season for the playoffs. So I'm happy with Tourigny. Like I said, he's entering his first season with expectations and pressure. I'm interested to see how he handles it. I always used to think and say in my videos, I wonder how Tourigny handles skill in his lineup, because for these 2 seasons, he never had any skill outside of Keller, Schmaltz, and Krause. This season, you saw Cooley enter the league his first year. Gunther had 30 games under his belt. So they're a bit too new and rookie to really show their talent. But now in Utah, they're showing their talent, that they're actually like great, unbelievable players. And I think Tourigny handled it well. I think he could handle a roster with a lot of skill. And we'll see how this team progresses moving forward. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.